What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. In the craziest thing of 2021, you won't believe it, there's more buyouts on today's Market Watch. Who would have seen that one coming? But in serious notion, with the remote duel Extravaganza now announced, unique pricing finally for speed duels, good on you for getting around to that, Konami, as well as awesome playmats and other things with the YCS remote duel in the works. People are max raritying their decks, one of the meta decks being Dragon Link, and this buyout sparks a wider conversation. White Dragon Wyver Burster super rare has been bought out, as well as Black Dragon Collapse Serpent, each to the point of $8 plus. If you actually bother to click on it, it's far up in price. And with this, they have competing ultra rares out of Battles of Legend that seemingly aren't getting looked up right now. If you might recall, these super rares used to get buyout after buyout, get expenses up towards $15 on buyout back in the day. So trying to press that ceiling once again while the competitor is there, when you have also older cards like Six Samurai United Turbo Pack. I know it's not in the metagame right now, but this used to be $30, get bought out to $50, and it sits at just $18 to $20 today. While the other super rare is actually starting to go, makes me think people might be starting to squirrel away and push money into other parts of the market as those revolving buyouts on Dark Beginning 1, Dark Beginning 2, Dark Legends, DR1, 2, 3, those more so unexplored territories before that have now gotten buyout after buyout after buyout. People are starting to look around and back again towards the meta, not only for today's meta, but maybe meta games in the future where we have events back in person where you know prices are going to explode when we get there. I find this one not to be a good buyout, not to be a bad buyout, but I do find it very interesting and want to see where it goes, since there is a buyout history, meaning there's not the most of those perhaps moving around in the room despite the cooled off price over time. Speaking of people buying out things that they don't need to be doing, you don't need to make a freaking Buster card expensive just because Buster Dragon got bought out. Vendors, what are you freaking doing? Just going after any, okay, the card's coming out, people are gonna need the other part of the decks. What do? We buy out Buster freaking Whelp, really? We've seen Wizard Buster bought out before, but for more big brain, we can equip this kind of play, and then you see the other things actually low in quantities, targeted. This is so wild. Is this actually like from mass people going after this deck because it's always been kind of a fan favorite? Like whenever I would be in a vendor shop and they were pulling a lot of orders, yes, they would sell these commons at a high volume, but really, is it like this, like natural? I don't necessarily think so. I think this is a bit more targeted with people looking up Ghosts from the Past, the reprints there, and trying to decide how it's going to impact the market. But let me know your thoughts. Natural or borderline absurd, like my opinion. Now, speaking of nooks and crannies I'd like to get into, the freaking art Amanda LaPalme draws thick hip silent mommy magician. Both field centers and sleeves are up on our site. You can use code WhatsGood5 for 5% off right now, and I think she did an excellent job with this, as well as the first time I've ever wanted to be blown up by Chaos Emperor Dragon and attacked twice by a BLS, a dual-sided metal field center on her site for just 25 bucks, even cheaper with code WhatsGood5, and limited quantity Easter sleeves of Akiza. I know it's after Easter, there's no discount sale there, very limited quantities. You can get all of this today over at Amanda LaPalme Art and support the channel while shopping and get yourself a discount. Now, in the rare non-sponsored post, Nimnim actually has an amazing mat up today too that is very cheap. I really like what he's done here and gone on optimal. He always makes like the art about like just the coolest things, and if we are shopping the playmat, I believe we go to shop here, we go over and click this, you can get zones, no zones, and it looks like it's just $27 for either rubber mat. Go and shop Optimal today as well if you're interested in the mat. It's only gonna be here for a limited time. Now, who the heck is buying out Gimmick puppets? I actually want to know this one. I get number collecting and people going after things, and there's some Gimmick puppet FTK that has like not the most attention to it and it isn't the realest thing in the world, but really just multiple Gimmick puppets bought out. Like, the only thing that my chat could find is a FTK with like 500 views on it where they win using C88, and that's not necessarily what's gone from the market, but is lower on the market. You have the Legendary Duelist Immortal Destiny Gimmick puppets, which could be filler in Legendary Duelist Season 3, or completely miss Legendary Duelist Season 3, Big Brain. Please don't speculate too too hard on that. Like, when Legendary Duel Season 3 comes, it's probably going to be one of the most ordered sets, period. They will need fluff inside. Who knows what it's going to be targeted at. But yeah, Gimmick Puppet buyouts are actually happening, and I'm trying to figure this one out. Really underrated deck, but it has its freaking problems, man. Speaking of numbers, Chronomaly Makumek getting extra buyouts from the last time we covered it. It was around 33 lows for an ultimate rare, and now the ultras are gone too. This card isn't the worst card in the world, but oh, it's $6.9, nice, $70. Geesh, this is just getting crazy out here. Red Eyes Slash Dragon is almost out of listings for the secret rare. If you want a nice Red Eyes card, you want the secret rare, you might want to get it sooner than later using that TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra to support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying, because it seems like it'll be up in price somewhat soon-ish, just for the Red Eyes name mayhaps. I don't think people are necessarily trying to back up Red Eyes Dragoon with Red Eyes Fusion on this one. I don't necessarily understand too much. Somebody on stream last night asked about prize cards and their reprints and which ones do I think are worth money and why. We looked up Giant Hand kind of being super low in quantities. It's also being number hunted because not everyone can afford the super or the ultra prize card, obviously, that are now like just way up there in price. But $16 to $20 is kind of crazy to be looking at. Minerva's actually gone down a couple dollars since the last time we looked at her. I think she was like bought out to the point of 16. She fell out a little since, but has really stabilized around 12. And I do understand there's not the most Minervas. These are both decent cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! History that have their past formats where they're played, like Minerva Swarm. The name was Minerva Swarm because only one deck out of all the regionals and YCSs topped without Minerva being Light Sworn. So people would be like, oh, you're clickbait, don't call it Minerva Swarm, call it Light Sworn. It was Minerva Swarm. That is an era for Light Sworn. Bad buyouts that I've been looking at. Why are you all still going after the English copies of cards from LED 6 and LED 5? I don't understand. They're way up in price. They're likely to get secret rare printings. I get whenever you call it right, you get super big brain. What's going to be missing from the product? What's Konami not going to throw in? You really reward yourself and you feel like a genius. But when you play that spread and play that field, it usually as a whole ends up pretty bad for you. And just seeing stuff like English Dark Magicians up and the competition, like they're like, please take my foreign ones of Magician Souls, please, I'll sell them really cheap compared to the English ones. I'm sure you will, but yeah, it's just wild to watch the English copies stay bought out and even go up in price. Now, speaking of cool stuff, Tier 0, code What'sGood5 for 5% off the shop. It supports the channel, has some awesome foreign Pokemon stuff in it, as well as different Yu-Gi-Oh stuff dropping on the site lately. I felt like the Pokemon stuff was front page. New arrivals, there it is. So they also have some OCG Yu-Gi-Oh stuff that you might want to peep that's going up on the site. And if you're in the market for foreign megatons, like the EU print, not foreign language, you might want to be looking them up here as well. Although they're actually sold out for now. I've poked them, I've told them, and they'll probably be relisting very soon. So as of this video being up, you see that 2 to 3 days and they might be to sleep. They should be trying to get some more pre-orders back up for you. But speaking of seeing the scary out of stock over here at a higher price, that's speaking to the demand of the megatons right now, and I'm a little bit scared we're going to see a Ghost from the Past effect maybe on it. That's the first time that's ever happened in history where we got above MSRP on a product. But with the last two megatons, now the 2021s are $40 on market, the gold sarks are 50 plus, and you're seeing every single pre-seller start to pull now that that order window is closed. Very few have them up. We have Gamer's Choice, James Chow's site. I've pointed this out a few times, 175. You can use code What'sGood5. These are sponsored, yes. 2021 megatons, 180, but you know I bring you first off the cheapest prices and second off advice I truly take. I told you Blazing Dumpster Fire, like I'd stay away. Ice Barrier Structure decks, I'm not going to tell you to go for those, but with the sets inside the 2021 10s and how it's going, sealed early may be something you want to look even harder at right now, because if there is this huge hike, places pulling orders, not able to get it, like they really could go up, and then you're going to be chasing storefronts, dropping it, and that kind of stuff. I am a bit scared on how this product's demand could go versus the actual quantities that get fulfilled. It should be the top-selling set of the year, but even then, the demand is up there without promos and that kind of stuff. Even, like, the sets inside are brilliant. So I would suggest probably getting those 2021 Megatins sooner than later, be it from YBM Gamer's Choice or wherever you do find them cheapest. Code What's Good 5 for 5% off here, and it supports the channel, obviously. I really am scared of something happening with the 2021 tins in terms of pricing. Blaze Phoenix, the Burning Bombardment Bird. I've actually seen this really cool warrior FTK. Robbie has it up on his channel right now. I might feature it as well. If we're talking FTKs, this card has been in a lot of them that I've seen in Dueling Book over time, and it only has one printing. It's around 50 cents. It might be penny stonkish FTK. I did call Cyberstein Secrets being a penny stonk around 250. It's around $5 right now, with the rare going back up in price as well. Good luck if you're looking for a prize card. And that wraps back up into the prize card conversation. And finally, that's pretty much it. I thought I had another tab. Professional Market Watch channel. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy these conversations, looks into the market. And I truly want to hear what you guys think. It's been crazy these last few weeks where I basically haven't been able to rest and do other content. There's just so many things actually happening that it's borderline getting to me too. I want to do some different videos, and I'm probably going to chop it up throughout the next week of like featuring other things besides just market content, guys. Thanks for watching, everybody.